Okay, I'm so excited you're doing the Ultimate Reset. I really, really, really am a huge advocate of the Ultimate Reset. It is truly one of the best cleanses that I know of. I feel amazing every time afterwards. But I want to give you my tips. The first tip, obviously, is to read through what came with your, the Ultimate Reset manual. Read through all that. Take the suggestions that they say. Prep and plan. That's all the obvious stuff, but I wanted to go live and give you my personal tips. Your book may look different. I have lots of different books. This is the one that I always use. It's a spiral bound. So some of the pages may not be the exact same, but I want to start with the actual book before we get to the Taste Around the World. Okay, Taste Around the World, you can print off in the back in your under PDF under Ultimate Reset on Body Eye. Okay, Body. You're not going to have the physical book, most likely. So, the first tip, obviously, read through. I'm assuming you've done all that. At the beginning of each phase, let me give you the page number. It does give you some prep ideas. One of the things, and I love the original, honestly. Like, if you've never done the original, I encourage you to do that at least once. I don't know why this is so blurry right now. Sorry about that. But I do encourage you to do that at least once. This is not working on my anyway, sorry. I will just ignore that. So there we go. Can't move. It does give you a shopping list, right, for the original. And I will say just do 3 days. Look and write down the what you're going to need for 3 days at a time. Your food will go bad. All the fresh produce that you buy, especially in weeks 1 and 2. Week 3, you're eating a lot of salads, and it may not go as bad as quickly. Also, you're going to learn that microgreen salad that you eat, which I love, but by week 3, you're going to be like, oh, another microgreen salad. It's not as bad if you implement some of the Taste Around the World. But you're also going to learn what you like. Like, I don't put everything that they say to put in it. I think the alfalfa sprouts and stuff like that. I don't think it's just sprouts in general. I don't use. You're going to learn what you like more of and what you need to buy, because the shopping list includes everything for that microgreen salad. So it will go bad. So just do, 2 to 3 days. You're going to be going to the grocery store a lot for your fresh produce. Do go ahead of time, well before you start, a week or 2 before you start, and go and buy all the the non-perishable foods. Some of those will be hard to find. Whole Foods should have most of it. Amazon has a lot. If you can't find some of the common things that you may not be able to find as a brand, the smoky tempeh, you can just make. I think I've had it once and I didn't like it. You just make your own tempeh, cut it. Speaking of the tempeh, when you do that, if you soak it and marinate it the way they say, it can be a bit too strong for a lot of people. So I actually don't marinate it. I like mine just brainstorming. We're giving you other options, right? You can do it the way they say. You cannot marinate it as long as just cook it. I like to just cut mine super, super, super thin and stick it in the air fryer. And I literally put the seasoning on it right before. And it's almost like French fry, like the hard, crisp, like the kind that came in the can, probably too. I don't remember if you're young, but the kind that came in the can and they were like French fries in a can almost. Super, super crunchy. You may not like that at all. So I'm just giving you some ideas. It's also super quick. There's no marinating. It doesn't take as long. So that's something I do, even not on reset. So I'm getting sidetracked there. So in buying your food, again, don't go 2 to 3 days. Look at what you're buying. The microgreen salad, you're not going to need it. You're only eating a salad once that week. You're not going to need that much produce, right? The seasonings like cilantro and parsley and stuff like that. Look at the ingredients. You may be only using it once and you're buying this big old head of parsley, right? So it's going to go bad. So you can totally substitute with dry ingredients. Honestly, that's what I did. First time I didn't do that. That's honestly what I do most of the time. is use the dry ingredients. Now, the taste around the world, some of the dips and stuff like that, you do need the fresh, but I will definitely buy and use the spices when I'm following the original one. And I think I double it, like it calls for a teaspoon. I like having seasoning, and I use maybe 2 teaspoons of the dry. So that's the way I use the dry. A lot of people will skip over the substitution list as well. They're like, I don't like tempeh. There is a substitution list in your book, and I'm trying to find the page. The shopping lists are at the very back. I'm only covering this because a lot of people miss it at the very back. You can see then shopping lists are in the back. Very, very back. And then the substitution list, I believe, is there's also the FAQ. That's a good section. If you can't find the substitution list in your book, message me, because I know I have it in a PDF form, and I'll send it to people, and we can just do that automatically. Like if you don't like tempeh, it will give you substitution. It's also in the FAQ on Beachbody. You get a body FAQ and type in substitution ultimate reset, it will pop up for you. So just want to make you aware of that. What else? That's the biggest tip, is not to go and buy all your things. The detox and the alkaline, you're going to be drinking the alkalizer every day. It's a green, basically power greens. Some people don't like them. I didn't like them at first. I don't have a problem drinking them anymore. You can take a sip and bite a lemon. A sip and bite a lemon. That's how I started. I honestly just drink it now. Not everybody. Some people love it. Same thing with the detox. You can do that as well with the detox. Again, I don't have a problem with the detox. Some people do. Okay. Recipes. Let me go. If you're doing Taste Around the World, I can say that a lot of people love the beets. People who think, I don't like beets. The beets are really good. That's usually a favorite. Another favorite is the root melody, is another one of people's favorites. But I'm going to go page by page here. And I will encourage you, when you do the recipes, to make little notes in your book, what you liked, what you didn't like, how you substituted it, because even though I've done this like 9 times, I can't remember when I get to it. So like on lunch on day 3, I personally don't care for the that much. I have lunch with the lentil lime salad, and I made jedra. Jedra is a Syrian. You saute the onions and you just cook the lentils in it. So I made jedra for the lentil lime salad, which probably means I left out the lime and I just sauteed the onions. A lot of times I will do things separately till I get to that. The dinner, the nori rolls, the sushi, I do not waste my time trying to roll those. I just throw it all in a bowl, tear up the seaweed, I throw it in a bowl, and I make it back in a bowl. A lot easier, a lot quicker. And then lunch, have good stir fry. Again, I'm just going through a day so I can give you my notes. How about a good, but kept it separated. So here, for dinner on day 10, for dinner, the quinoa lentil pilaf, which is something I thought I'd like, and I just didn't care for it, but I'll eat it separate. I say good, but kept it separate. Quinoa and lentils together, rest together. So just know that you can separate the things. You don't like it all mixed together. A lot of times where it calls for lime, I do substitute lemon. I like lemon. I'm a Syrian origin, and we do a lot of lemon in our dishes. The lime I'm not too crazy about. Another one that everybody loves is the Mediterranean roasted beets. That's what I mentioned earlier. And the coconut collard greens. The coconut collard greens are really good. And then as far as the millet and the rice and quinoa, so you have options there as well. I'm honestly sensitive to the very first time I did it. I did the millet and I did the rice and I did the quinoa. Then I got to where you can substitute those. If you look at the substitution list, you can use any of those. So I just used brown rice and I freeze it flat. I have another video if you want to see how to do that. I freeze it flat, very thin, about this thin, in a gallon size. And this is meal prep. You should go ahead and have this done. Freeze it in the freezer about this thick, and it's so easy to break off. I run it over a strainer with hot water, and then I dump it in the pan and kind of like reheat it, and it gets to be sticky. And so your rice is already prepped and cooked, and you don't have to prep the rice, the quinoa, and millet. You can just do, you like quinoa, you like rice. Millet was my least favorite, and just freeze it ahead of time. If you want some variety, yes, do the quinoa. I'm actually allergic to have sensitivity to grains, to rice and quinoa stuff. So that's why I love the Taste Around the World. They use a lot of cauliflower substitute as an option. You can also use, even though it doesn't say it in the original, you can use cauliflower rice if you like as a substitute for the rice, if that makes sense. So that's that. Sorry, I didn't want this video to be too long. Day 15, this is a huge tip. I love the Asian cabbage salad. I still eat that to this day, but I think Shortcuts, I think Kroger has their organic. I do try to buy organic, but they have the just cabbage, cabbage in a bag, the pre-made salads, like it's just cabbage and carrots and maybe some purple cabbage mix. It doesn't even have the packets and stuff like that in it. So you can buy coleslaw, the coleslaw mix, pick a Shortcut there, it's already chopped. You can buy that, and then I will say, good left out. So for me, I left out the bell pepper, made sauce separate, and don't use all the dressing. So that's a huge tip there. It says to like marinate it overnight with the dressing. It's way too vinegary, way too strong. Just make your dressing for it. And go slow. Do a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, stir it up, feed it, see if you want more, want less. Most of the time when I make it, I do not use all the dressing in this. It's just really overpowering. So go by your taste buds, start off just small, and don't add the whole thing, and then realize, ooh, that's too much. So that's day 15 with the Asian cabbage salad. Okay, I think that's it for that. Snacks, I don't need to cover anything. I also make a lot of notes on the actual recipe itself, the recipe pages. Like for the Asian cabbage salad, I use 1 tablespoon of lemon and a half tablespoon of lime, where it calls for 2 tablespoons of fresh lime. So it calls for 2 green onions. I use 1 green onion. So that's what I mean. When you go through your recipes, make notes, because you will want to come back to these recipes and use them. They really are really good. So I also want to tell you about the crunch, the ultimate reset in the crunch. Technically, the whole Taste Around the World is the reset in a crunch, because it repeats. It's just a bit easier. It's laid out. But they do have a recipe in the crunch. A lot of people miss this too. For me, it's page 111, 111. This is the recipe in the crunch. This is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And you can do that. This is easier a lot of times for lunches and stuff like that if you're going to school. And you would just pick, it gives you 3 options here. You would pick one, and you could technically eat the same thing every day. I mean, it's not as fun, and you're not experimenting with new foods and stuff like that, but to make it easy and more doable, you technically can do that. So you pick out, the ones that you like and go with it, if that makes sense. So that's the reset in the crunch, page 111. For me, it may be a different page number for you. So that's everything. Yeah, and just again, like it does go through after that for me, page 115, ultimate reset ingredient list. It does go through everything, and it will tell you on some of these things where to buy it and where to get it from. If you're having trouble, and if you're having trouble finding something, please message me. I'll tell you, oh, you don't even need that. Or go to, because I've done it so many times, go to Kroger, go to Whole Foods. They have it in the frozen section, like just message me. Or, oh, I had to order that off of Amazon. So message me if you're having trouble finding something. Do take the time to go through the non-perishable items and have that before you start. Okay, think that's it for this book. Now, Taste Around the World. I love it. I could do this one over and over and over. It is laid out, I don't want to say a lot to do, but the shopping list, they really do go with the week. It's very repetitive. It's more, you repeat more meals, if that makes sense. And what I would say about the Taste Around the World, let's see where so let's take the Latin, for example. Page 17, 18, and 19 are the actual recipes where it tells you what you're going to be eating. But then if you look at the shopping list, week 1, where it breaks it all down, it does break it all down week by week a little bit better than the original one, if that makes sense. And so for me, because I mix and match, I still took it 2 or 3 days at a time and planned what I was eating. On this one, you can do even, it does tell you pages of where it tells you meal prep. So with the grocery list, it gives you the meal prep ideas and what you need to meal prep. And I highly recommend taking the time to meal prep. I would meal prep even more of what they said, honestly, because as I did it the second and third time, I knew some of the meals I liked, which really the Indian one. I go to the Indian. You make a lot of like tomato and that hearty minestrone soup is really good, or the hearty miso soup, and this one is good. A lot of people love that one. People favorite, but the minestrone soup and the Taste Around the World is really good too. And a lot of that stuff you can freeze. You can put ahead of time and go ahead and freeze if you know you want to do that. A lot of I froze a lot of the Indian, if I knew I was going to be, I don't know how to say anything about these things. American, the Indians, the first one. Last one. Okay, I'm getting there. Here we go. I'm getting there. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say it. It's Majadula, whatever. Here we go. Yeah, the cauliflower parma, the chana masala, the pea pava, the vegetable curry, all of that can be frozen and cooked ahead of time. Like it doesn't tell you that as a meal prep, but you can fix all of that ahead of time and freeze it if you want. So it really does make it easy to go. Last thing I will say is if you're working and going to work and stuff, just be sure to look ahead and you can fix that the night before. Like usually you're going to be fixing your dinner, and a lot of times your dinner is your lunch the next day. So just go ahead and write them in there. You know, if you cook, let's say it says to double the recipe and you put 4 servings of it because you're eating it 4 times that week, go ahead and break down the servings. So you put them in the containers. You may need to go buy a few extra glass, containers to store your food. When you freeze stuff, you can freeze it flat in the Ziploc bag. Again, makes it quicker to defrost, super easy to break off, and get what you need as well. But a lot of times I'll even freeze it in the containers. And then I did this when I was working with school sites. Like literally, I would just grab the container and walk out the door. If it's one of the chana masala and a salad, I have the salad already ready to go as well. Prepped the night before, and then you just walk out the door, grab it, and walk out the door. So I also would suggest bringing your snacks, like an apple and the 12 almonds. I don't remember. The green apple and 12 almonds. Those keep the best. Meaning like they don't bruise. You don't need a refrigerator. You can keep them in the car because you never know where you're going to be, and if like it really hits you, that you're really hungry. Most of the time, I do not eat a snack when I'm on this, but I do travel and I have that green apple and almonds with me just in case I'm being off schedule and I need to eat something. I do keep those with me. So hope that helps. If you have any questions at all, reach out to me. Like I said, I've done this 9 times. I love it. And can, we can brainstorm and figure things out. So love you. God bless. Go crush this. I want to hear from you throughout the Ultimate Reset process. Tell me when you're struggling. Reach out. That's what I'm here for. Days 4 and 5. Days 4 and 5 typically be, if you're following the original, they're the hardest because it's a heavy prep tape, but it also can be the hardest, meaning you're detoxing the most. Of course, everybody's body is different. You can detox the first day, maybe. Caffeine, if you haven't been cutting back on caffeine, I highly encourage you to go ahead and do that as well, because a lot of people will get the caffeine headache. So go ahead and start cutting back.